Today on the CTV News at 5, Police Chief Leadership. Members of the Lethbridge Regional Police Service Association call a meeting to discuss Chief Mackenzie's leadership. Plus, XL Foods processing plant is back up and running in Brooks, but no meat is leaving the plant just yet. And a coroner's inquest concludes into the death of a man found bound to the bars of a Cranbrook jail cell by his T-shirt.
CTV News with Jackie Scantlebury.
Good afternoon. Lethbridge Police Chief Tom Mackenzie is now responding to a vote of confidence scheduled for Monday by members of the police rank and file. The police service members are scheduled to meet Monday, October the 15th, to discuss Chief Mackenzie's ability to lead the police service. Terry Vogt reports.
In May of last year, Police Chief Tom Mackenzie got a new 3-year contract from City Council and a ringing endorsement from the Police Commission.
He's done a great job. He's a tremendous leader of the service. He's a tremendous worker in the community on behalf of the Lethbridge Regional Police Service.
But now that leadership is being questioned by some members of the service. At the association's annual meeting, a motion was made to hold a special membership meeting October 15th. The only item on the agenda is to determine the membership's confidence in the ability of the chief to lead the police service.
This is a discussion at this point in time. No motion has been made by the membership in relation to any action that they wish the board to take or which the membership wants to take. Basically, this is, like I said, a discussion that the membership wants to have. The board is bound by membership direction, and so we're holding this special membership meeting.
Police Association representatives say a variety of motions or decisions could take place at the October 15th meeting, but they aren't prepared to speculate on which direction the membership will go. While an invitation to the meeting was sent to all members of the police service, the association says it's disappointed the information was released prematurely.
Has caused some concern, obviously, with our membership and with our board. And because I don't like to speculate, nor do I like to look at hypothetical situations. I like facts. We're police officers. We deal in facts.
The Police Association isn't going into any details on what actions or decisions led to unrest among members of the rank and file. But for most members of the community, this comes as a surprise. Only 4 months ago, Chief Mackenzie was recognized with one of the top honors for policing in Canada, an Order of Merit award by the Governor-General for outstanding contributions to policing and community. Terry Vogt, CTV News, Lethbridge.
In a statement this afternoon, Chief Mackenzie indicated that he had not been formally provided with any information about the October 15th meeting, nor has he been asked to attend. He said he strongly believes that open and honest communication is one of the foundations of a healthy organization and necessary to maintain effective relationships both internally and externally. And that as a police officer, I have spent the past 36 years dedicated to serving our communities. And as chief, my commitment to all the men and women of the Lethbridge Regional Police Service and our citizens remains strong. Chief Mackenzie also said he welcomed the opportunity to speak with anyone directly who has an issue. He went on to thank officers, staff, and community members who have reached out to express their supports. Well, the Crow's Nest Pass Ratepayers Association is meeting tonight, calling for the provincial government to intervene and overturn some controversial decisions by the Pass Mayor and Council. The ratepayers say dispute with volunteer firefighters never should have reached a crisis stage. Nearly all of the 100 Crow's Nest Pass firefighters are now off the job. They're protesting the dismissal of a local fire chief last week. The firefighters say they won't return to duty until the municipality reinstates Blairmore Fire Chief Jamie Margatak, who had served for 34 years. The Ratepayer Association is hosting a public meeting tonight, 7 o'clock at the Hillcrest Miners Club to discuss how to move forward. Sunny and temperatures into the high teens starting tomorrow, Dory.
I know. It's hard to believe after what we woke up to this morning. It's like snow on the roofs, and it's on October 11th. But yeah, it's hard to believe. It's just been a couple of weeks ago. We were out enjoying very mild temperatures and lots of sunshine. Well, we'll have those mild temperatures back as we head into the weekend. Not quite as warm, but temperatures looking pretty healthy and lots of sunshine. Tell you all about it in a couple of minutes.
Thanks, Dory. Excel workers in Brooks are back on the job. At least some are. This morning, the Canadian Food Inspection Agency announced that the beleaguered meat packer can begin to process meat once again. The CFIA says Excel passed maintenance and safety inspections yesterday. However, the regulatory agency says it needs to see workers in action before it allows the company to be fully operational again. Janet Dirks has the latest.
After being closed for 2 weeks, this meat packing plant is being allowed to resume limited operations. The Canadian Food Inspection Agency is permitting Excel Foods to cut and process carcasses already in the plant. There are about 5,000 of them that have tested negative for E. coli. But that beef will not be allowed to hit the shelves until the CFIA is convinced it's safe for consumers.
We're going to have CFIA staff in there to take a look at all of these activities related to the deboning and the sampling for E. coli to make sure that the sampling is done properly, the testing is done properly. The data analysis, which was one of the big weak points that got us here, is fixed and is being done properly.
The CFIA also announced after inspecting the plant, it has found all areas cleaned and sanitized. Still, the agency has concerns.
We're going to have intensified inspection in there for the foreseeable future while we conduct enough due diligence to have the evidence that things are back to a space where they ought to have been all along.
The first of several meat recalls began September 16th, 12 days after U.S. officials informed the CFIA it had discovered E. coli on a shipment of beef. The plant had its license temporarily suspended September 27th after the agency launched an investigation. Yesterday, the union for the plant's workers accused Excel of creating what it called an unsafe food culture.
You know, they all have these little stands where you disinfect your knife and what have you in boiling water. If the line speed is too great, you cheat. You don't have enough time to do it.
Excel Foods disputes that, and in a written statement insists the line speed is within regulatory requirements. The CFIA won't say when the plant will be fully up and running, but says when it comes to making that decision, it will be vigilant and accept no compromises. Janet Dirks, CTV News, Calgary.
A coroner's inquest into the death of a man found bound to the bars of a Cranbrook jail cell by his T-shirt has concluded. Kimberly Davidson explains the inquest outcome.
It was Christmas Eve of 2010 that 36-year-old Colin Kahalik was found hanging from the bars in his Cranbrook police cell after being arrested for a domestic incident. He had used his T-shirt. Kahalik never regained consciousness and died several days later. 19 witnesses testified at a coroner's inquest in Cranbrook, the point of the hearing to determine what went wrong and come up with recommendations to prevent similar deaths in the future.
People to whom recommendations are directed need to treat them seriously, principally because of the trouble they'll have from people like yourself if they don't, because if there's a further incidence, if it happens again and they haven't done anything, you will be giving them a bad time.
The police cells in Cranbrook were under renovation at the time of the suicide. Now, 5 of the 10 cells don't have bars and have been upgraded to new safety standards. In light of the changes, the jury made 2 recommendations. 1, if a prisoner is put into the old-style cells, any discarded clothing is removed immediately. And 2, that if a patient is brought to the hospital critically injured from unnatural causes, that any blood or urine samples be frozen and saved for at least 30 days in case they're needed by a pathologist. Kahalik's mother would have liked the recommendations to have gone further.
He disappeared off camera, basically, and nobody noticed because the guard was busy with other duties. Not necessarily to blame the guard, but maybe they should have more staff if they have such varied tasks.
During the inquest, photos of Kahalik were placed in front of the jury. His parents described a hard-working man with a big heart whose battles with bipolar disorder and drug addiction overcame him.
Because there was so much more to him than just the little glimpse at the end that people saw. It was a worthwhile life.
Kimberly Davidson, CTV News, Cranbrook.
A Medicine Hat man has been sentenced to 90 days behind bars after pleading guilty to possessing child porn. 25-year-old Justin Bruins entered a guilty plea in Lethbridge court today. Last year, Cootes border officials found dozens of pornographic images and a video on his computer. All included children under the age of 12. Bruins will serve his 90-day sentence on weekends at the Medicine Hat Remand Center. He is banned from owning a computer or any electronic storage device, and he will be listed as a registered sex offender for 10 years. Well, some good news about a wedding ring set we told you about yesterday. The ring has been returned to its very relieved owner after they saw it on our news last night. The ring was found by a citizen near the CIBC Bank on 4th Avenue South in Lethbridge and turned over to police. The ring's owner says she is very grateful to police and the person who found it. Lethbridge fire officials say technology used in forest fires gave crews an edge in controlling last month's massive wildfire. The fire chief and city staff met with media today in their final briefing. A month ago, the county declared a local state of emergency after wildfire west of Lethbridge threatened several communities. The chief credits accurate weather predicting techniques used during forest fires and helping crews implement effective plans to tackle the blaze. He says emergency plans developed after assessing the city's November 2011 fire resulted in better pooling of resources and communication between the city, county, and province.
Crews worked very hard together. The regional cooperation that we saw was phenomenal. The crews we hit the ground running on this event, and it was just so much similar to our last event. But I think what's really clear here is that cooperation is critical, both at the Emergency Operations Center level as well as in the ground level in command structures.
Now, crews say using social media platforms to provide accurate updates to local media was especially important in getting the correct message out to the public quickly. Coaldale and District Emergency Services are hosting an open house for Fire Prevention Week. You can stop by for a tour at the fire hall tonight until 7:30. Check out the equipment, meet the firefighters, learn about fire safety, and even watch a Jaws of Life demonstration. There's a toonie barbecue that benefits Coaldale firefighters charities. And now here's a look at today's markets.